little short, fat one. Guys and gals, Brad Whatley, Bassmaster Elite Series Pro. If you're from the South, you know that your Rayburn reds, your oranges, your reds, that's the color that people always throw from the South. And I'm gonna say that I used to be a huge, proponent of throwing those colors. But as I've evolved and as things have changed with a lot of fishing pressure, I've also had to change. And I'll tell you what works for me. And I have went to more of a shad colored or a citrus shad colored, and I'll tell you what dictates when I do this. Pretty much, I would say 80–90% of the time, I'm gonna try to throw these colors right here that's totally different from what everybody else is throwing. The only time that I'm gonna try to rely more on your oranges or your crawfish imitators is gonna be on a full moon or cloud cover. A lot of times when I'm using those baits with, I said, cloud cover or say a full moon, it's generally because that's a duller bait. It's not as loud. It doesn't, it doesn't probably, they're not going to see that bait near as far, no doubt. And as the times that I'm going to use it with the lighter, less light, there's not as much light penetrating the water. The more light I have penetrating the water, the more flash I want. And so this is when I'm going to go to my, say, citrus shads, and this just happens to be a citrus shad or any type of shad color. It doesn't have to be, one or the other. Any shad variation, that's when I'm going to go to those type baits, is when I have more light penetration in that water. So with the lipless, the water temperature is a huge factor on how I retrieve this lure. So if we're talking about somewhere in that 44 to 47 degree water temperature, I'm really going to do, which is what I would call a rip and reel. Just very similar to, say, stroking a jig in the summertime. I mean, I'm not trying to retrieve this lure at all. I'm strictly looking for a reaction bite. That's all I'm looking for. Now, as that water temperature gets, say, above 48, 49 degrees, I'm gonna do more of a constant retrieve with just a little pop every now and then. I'll never do a straight retrieve, ever. Absolutely never do a straight retrieve for it. But there again, it's the water temperature 48 or above. I'm gonna do a little bit of pop with it with more of a retrieve. If it's, say, 44, 45, 46, in that mid 40s, then it's gonna be a rip and reel, no retrieve whatsoever. More often than not, I'm gonna try to throw what nobody else is throwing, and I'm gonna throw these shad imitating type colors.